We're live on YouTube right here. This is YouTube. That is Hard Body Live, Facebook Live. Ooh. And the mics are actually just for looks. Because we don't have, we need a new mixer board.
You want me to add like I'm talking in the mic?
Yeah, you just pull the mic up. Just right here, pull it up. And if you want to go live, this is what that clamp is for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to go Facebook Live or whatever. Welcome to In the Spotlight with your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. Yeah, you all know that song. That's Florida Evans by Scar Akbar. Like, you know, I had to lead in the show with that. This week, you can close that door. This week I have an artist who I met.
Had a lot of shows.
Probably, I want to say it's been about 2 years, I guess. A year, 2 years.
Probably even longer.
Because at that time, I think I met you through B.O.M.B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I did shows with Billy in the past, with B.O.M.B.
Yeah. And Billy Live. Seems like I can't get through an interview without mentioning Billy Live.
I know, right?
Which I guess that's a good thing for Billy.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Marvelous. Marvelous.
Yeah, Marvelous or Marvelous Music Team, Marvelous, Be More Marvelous, everything.
Right.
Marvelous.
So I stopped calling these interviews because I used to write for Scar Akbar I wrote because for me Scar was like one of those people that he's been in the scene for so long. He's been, you know, before I even came in the scene, you know, I knew him from 92Q. So I was so excited I didn't want to forget something. Right. So I wrote everything down. But I stopped calling these interviews a long time ago because I found that if you just have a conversation, you learn a whole lot about somebody. Instead of just asking the standard questions. So, who was your influence? Like, these are the same questions everybody asks. So there's a lot of questions that I ask that are a lot, you know, if you have other interviews, they ask the same questions. So for me, I always want to know the name. How did you come up with your stage name? Because I'm sure your mother didn't name you Marvelous. Now, she may have said you're Marvelous when you were born, but, you know, how did the name come about?
How did I get the name Marvelous? Wow, okay. How long has my name been Marvelous? That's been...
Probably close to about 6 years. Huh?
Yeah, 6 years. How I came up with the name Marvelous? I mean, I really don't know exactly how I came up with the name, but I do know I wanted to make my rap name something like that feels like it empowers myself. You know what I mean? And plus, my regular name, I never liked my regular name. Regular name is Clinton Tate, and I'm not gonna be a rapper going by Clinton Tate. That just doesn't.
Well, I mean, you would be a very unique rapper.
Yeah, like whatever rappers named Clinton Tate. What we got? Not Clinton Tate, but with Clinton in it. And then what we have one?
Clinton Sparks.
Yeah, Clinton Sparks. But nah, Marvelous. I don't know. It started off as Marv for short, just it was gonna be by Marv, but then I just eventually added on the Marvelous to it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, when did you start rapping? I mean, do you have the same kind of story everybody else does? Or well, we was in school, or
nah, actually, we didn't start in school. We actually started. Well, I always been rapping, but we never actually took it seriously until we got out of school. So I actually started in the church, actually, through gospel rap, actually. So it was like real heavy into the church and stuff like that. But as you get older, I guess, I don't know, things change, your feelings change, so
your peers change.
Yeah, so our view on life just changed a little bit. So we just still had that same positive vibe, but we just broke out of labeling ourselves as a gospel artist.
Okay. Yeah. So when was it that moment that you said, okay, this is what I want to do. It's like this is what this is like the path that I want to take. Like I'm going to be a rapper, and that's
I know mine. I don't know exactly what yours
is. You go first. You take mine.
Mine is personally when I heard Kanye West's album, College Dropout.
Okay.
I had
that was prior to Crazy Kanye.
Yeah, I had wrote previous lyrics before. I didn't even have had told him like, hey, it's like I had wrote a rap, you know. So he was like, for real? And I had spit it to him, and one day he wrote a rap. You know? We were just playing around and stuff like that.
Move this camera. Go ahead, keep talking. I got to move this camera.
We listened to I listened to College Dropout because my brother, he was in the military. He had came home, and I had heard about Kanye West because I heard Through the Wire.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite songs because I like music. Excuse me.
And Through the Fire was actually like one of my mom's Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
Was one of my mom's favorite groups back when she was young. So
right.
She gravitated to the song when she first heard it. So that made me gravitate to the song.
Right.
So when my brother came with the actual album, I heard it, I listened to it, and I was like, yo, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do it.
What about you? I mean, like you said, you started out in the church, but when, when was this like, okay, it's not like a hobby or a fun thing to do. This is what I want to pursue. Do you even remember that moment?
I'm probably not going to be good. I mean, that accurate exactly the day that I made that decision, but I can say that I think it's probably when I met Prophet. Like when I first had that being on stage feeling, like that type of feeling of it, like and being in front of the crowd and like actually performing the song that you made at home in front of people and see that reaction. That's when I like said like, yeah, I want to take this serious. Like I just love that feeling, and I just always want to. Yeah, shout out to Prophet too.
Yeah, shout out to Prophet who is in LA right now.
I know, right?
My little brother is in LA. He don't bother to take me with him, but that's okay.
Yeah,
but
man, he actually probably he like has a big impact on like us starting out. He gave us our first shows, first videos, like everything. He like.
Ironically, actually, our first song and video that we did it all in like 2 days. So we recorded it Friday and did the video Saturday.
Yeah. So I would say hitting the stage is like.
And it was probably Prophet sitting there like all excited because he got ADD. He's the ADHD because I kid him all the time. But Prophet is one of those people. Let me tell you, Prophet and Tank called me up at like 12 o'clock midnight one night. I was in bed, and they were going to Houston the next day because they were going to go shoot a video for Scarface. Oh, Lisa, you got a lens? All Prophet stuff had got stolen.
Oh wow!
I
Again.
think I remember that.
Prophet. It has to be something fit. I got up out of my bed, went to the studio, walked up 5 flights of damn steps, and then when I get up to the top, Tank says, there is an elevator. I said, I got like to the 3rd floor and looked up. Tank is leaning down over laughing at me, and I told him I hated him. Gave him the lens, it fit the camera, and they went on to go shoot the Scarface video in Houston. Wow. There's not many people I would get up out of my bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and drive across town. But Prophet, we go way back. So, Prophet has done a lot for a lot of the local artists as well, the underground.
He's done a lot of work in the city. He's done a lot of work.
And that's Billy's the same way. Like Billy has opened up. He's opened up doors for people. Some people choose to walk through them. Some people they go the other way and regret it later.
Oh yeah.
But that's why I made a post the other day and I said that these are certain. I named like 5 or 6 different names that keep getting mentioned just in the past 2 shows. And Billy was one of them. And Billy and Big Steve are always the ones brought up because Big Steve, he's doing a lot of things touring. He makes his own tours. He goes out of state. He does all this other stuff. He's working with different artists and and other states. And Billy, he's constantly he just had that tour that he had for his album and everything.
That tour was fun. I was on there. We went on tour, but we made a couple of those shows.
Yeah.
That tour was fun. The New York one.
Very interesting. Very interesting going out of Baltimore.
Is it? And do you find this is what I see? You get so much out of state love or out of town love. It's crazy. Vibe, when you go and do shows in Westminster, it's crazy how much people love. They show the love or whatever. You go to PA, it's nothing but love. Right. You come to your hometown and.
Baltimore, we gotta do better on that now.
But you know what? To be honest, it's everywhere. It really is. The artists in Pennsylvania will say the same thing that we say.
Right.
I was in New Orleans in February, and I was watching a show like this, an internet radio show, and one of the artists from New Orleans said the same thing. He was like, the support. He said, we need more people we need people to support. And I'm thinking, yo, that's what we go through up there.
Yeah, because not a lot of people are willing to, to step back sometimes and give everybody else the opportunity. Everybody want to be the number one guy, so that's why you do gotta like cherish people like Billy and Prophet, because they don't always just make it about themselves at the end of the day. Like, they give a lot of our artists opportunities to shine. Like, he just had his release party, and he didn't even perform until like the end. He was just so worried about everybody else getting on the stage. And stuff.
I know, I was supposed to be going to it, but I had another event to do, and then my car tore up, so I didn't get to go to the event that I was supposed to go to because they were paying me.
Oh, right.
And
I
then
was in that group message.
And then, yeah. So I didn't, I could have came to the show. So I could have hit somebody up, but I was so mad about my car situation that I would not have been fun at all. I mean, I'm sorry I missed everybody, but that car pissed me off. But so how long have you been how long have you been
in the city
performing?
Doing our thing? Decades.
You're not even that old.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
It felt like it. I mean, but the first time we really started performing was in 2009.
Yeah, we've been
in the Baltimore
scene for a long time.
But I mean, we always been doing music.
But these last, like this year and the previous years, when we actually started doing it the right way, because it don't matter how long you've been doing it; it just matters if you're doing it right.
Right.
So we're finally getting, catching on. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's. I found that it's kind of hard with making sure that you have the right people telling you the right things, because people can steer you in the wrong directions. And I mean, I've been in the scene long enough to see, I came in 2006, 2007, started going to shows in 2008, and I've got to see a lot of people come and go, and some of them come back, some of them don't.
Right.
Some people come, they don't feel like they're getting that instant gratification. They're not getting that instant notoriety.
Right.
They're not getting their accolades. So then what do? I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm moving here. I'm moving there. And then you either don't hear from them ever again, or they just give up music. So, so it's having those right people show you the right direction. The main problem I seen when I came in was nobody marketed and advertises themselves. You are a commodity. You're a business. So you have to market and advertise yourself. How else are you going to get fans? Sure. So that nobody was doing that. There was a few people doing it, but there was they weren't doing it enough. Another problem I seen is business. How did you learn about? It just wasn't about rapping and making songs, that you had to have the BMI or ASCAP. You had to had your copyright and publishing. Yeah. How long was it before you was like, somebody was like, do you have this?
We got to that pretty kind of late.
Yeah. Actually,
well, you're not alone.
That's actually
if we would have known that a lot earlier, I think we could have took off a lot quicker. But it's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just actually started realizing how important the business side was. Everything actually at the beginning of this year, thanks to Anchor the Bank. Yeah, because he actually like our mentor, manager. He did 1-2 coaches and stuff. So yeah, we know that making music is a very, very small part of being a rapper. It's more of the business side of things. So he had to learn the hard way. So
that's another thing. That's why I was saying about having the right people teach you in the right direction. Because I'm sure you had others around you that maybe they didn't know the business part of it. Because like when I play music, and like I said, I stream live on YouTube, and then after I get done with the interview or whatever, it processes. That way it's on YouTube, and you can always share it, in case somebody didn't get to see it or whatever. And what I love to see, and it sounds crazy, is I get in my email, I get a notification from YouTube. I get excited. I have artists, oh my God, what do I got to do? Nothing. This just means your music is copywritten.
Right.
And it recognizes it. So, you know, I get happy for the artist.
That is a good thing to see, right?
Right. So
that paperwork, right?
Right. That way you can start getting money off of it. Yeah, which is kind of hard because I had an artist group in here the other day. Or was it 3 weeks ago? 2-3 weeks ago. And they were talking about how much they get paid off of streams, and it's hardly anything. So the music industry is still screwing people out of their money. You know, still trying to do that. So what did it feel like? Like you were talking about when the first time you got on stage. What was that feeling like? Was it like you felt like you were on a stage when there was like 10,000 people in the crowd? Even though there wasn't, but it felt like it. I mean, did you have the?
What's funny about that? Because we had Raheem with us too, so we had our brother with us. He was only 8 years old at the time.
Oh.
So when we came out to the club, and we came up with the call with him, and the bouncer was like, "Oh, he ain't getting there. Like, what are y'all doing?"
What club was this?
It was the Black Hole.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Black Hole.
Yeah, so we had to call Prophet up. Prophet had to sort things out. We actually did be able to get him in there.
Did you all have to like go on first, and then he had to leave?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we did.
I mean, sometimes we did, but that night we didn't, though.
Nah, yeah, that night we didn't. But to answer your question, I would say cause like not rapping, like I'm like a real shy person. Like I say to myself, I'm not like a real outgoing person, but like it's different once I'm on stage and with the mic. So I guess it's like, I don't know, it's just like the energy is like I'm like a different type of person when I'm on stage, so I just enjoy that a lot. I'm like
so as soon as you hit that stage, you're no longer Clinton, you are Mauvlous.
Yeah,
so you have a whole different personality.
Yeah, and everybody who like knows me regularly and sees me on stage, they like, wow, I never would have expected that from you. So yeah, I am like a completely different person. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that also, like, my whole thing is, music is therapy. Right. I don't write music. I can't sing. I can't rap. But when I listen to music, it's therapy for me. Yeah. Well, if I'm going through something, or if I'm feeling some kind of way, or whatever. So as an artist, your music is an extension of you. Right. And that's why I said, like, I like music. When you were talking about it through the wire, that was Kanye. That was Kanye. That was all him. That was about his life. That was what he was going through. It was nothing made up. It was him. I don't understand that because I don't sip lean. I don't want to be groggy. I got to be alert.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So, but I understand that it's therapy. So I asked this question of my guest of Scar, because the music that he puts out, it's him. And I have a friend of mine who made one solo project and quit rapping. And it took him 4 years to be able to listen to that project again, because he put all of him in that. Has there ever been a song that you have written that you cannot, like, you just can't listen to it? You don't want to listen to it. It just brings up too much. It was just your way of, like, I'm putting this out here, and then that way I can get it off of me. Is there a song that you've done?
Let's see. Actually, that's a good question, because no, actually, I don't think I actually put myself all the way out there like that yet. And I think that's something I need to start doing more, you know. But no, I haven't made a song yet where, like, I'm going deep in detail where, like, with my life or nothing. It's more like still trying to make that song that everybody else can relate to and stuff like that. So no, I don't have that type of song. Did you make one yet?
It's kind of hard to, because I mean, you want to put something like out there like that, but it's like I'm still trying to gravitate the people as a message first. It's really. But
I understand what you're saying, like using Scar, like listening to his songs, that you can hear like everything he's going through, the situation. He like drags you into his world when you look at his videos and his music. So.
Yeah, so I like to ask that, like, because like I said, I've had, you know, my friend Neil who made his project. He made this dope ass project. Like, to this day, I still listen to it. It's been 4 years, and there's still songs on it that, you know, it just hit me hard. And you know, he was like, you know, he hit me up one day, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm listening to my project for the first time in 4 years. I was like, wow, are you going through something that you needed to be reminded that where you were and where you're at now? So, you know, and you're talking about making music to gravitate the masses. And like I said, I like artists who go against the grain.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I like artists who don't try to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, I gravitate towards the David Banners who do music that they want to do, and Raheem DeVaughn who does the music he wants to do. And yes, they may be blackballed by certain music companies and whatnot, but they're still doing the music that they want to do, and they still have those fans, you know, even more. So it's kind of a fine line, you know, because you want to get that music out there that everybody is really loving.
Right.
But then you got to look and be like, well, damn, there's about 300 other rappers in Baltimore City who are trying to do the same thing. Yeah. So you say you came in around 2009. So you were in that era where there was the Black Hole Club, where there was Sonar, 5 Seasons,
what else
Bourbon, all those venues where you could perform at, and look at it now. You know, how do you feel? How do you feel about that, being an artist? You know, trying to you know, you want to be able to perform places, and those places are just not there, or they're not. I don't want to say hole in the walls,
right?
But they're not on the level of Sonar, Black Hole Club, 5 Seasons. I don't know if you remember Bedrock or not. Bedrock was across from the Hippodrome. It's some club now.
Yeah, it's very, that sounds very familiar.
But it was called Bedrock, and it wasn't open for very long. But it was a wonderful. That was the night that Prophet jumped from the bathrooms onto the stage.
Oh, okay. Well, we did go to the era back then was way more better. It was like fun.
Yeah, it was like a lot more love, I feel like, back then too.
That's the thing, like we was so busy just having fun. That's why we probably wasn't focused on the business side. We just making music and performing. Like, the opportunities was way more like available back then. So like now, like the main place that I always want to hit the stage on is sound stage.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta hit that sound stage.
I like sound stage, and I love Autobar.
Yeah, we did the Autobar.
I know, I took pictures. I didn't get to take many pictures because I just got there, and you all was on stage, and I was like trying to fold my camera, and I was like, click, click. Oh, damn, they're done. Okay. And then when the networking event, I think you guys had performed before I got there.
What was that, the Downtown Cultural Center?
Yeah, it was a networking event that Billy had that I went to.
Yeah,
I was like, I like to try to get there early, but sometimes forces and things happen, and I can't get there on time, and I feel bad when I can't take pictures. So I try to take pictures of everybody from the beginning to the end, but that night I was like, click, click, click.
I know, right? We were like the first act too. So.
Yeah. So yeah. So back then, because some of the artists that I've had, they weren't around back when we had all that love.
Right.
I remember being at like Black Hole Club and looking around and seeing all these other artists, and they weren't performing. They were just there because we were having fun, and we were, you know, it was a show, and we were supporting, and you know, and then one day it was all gone. You know, so where do you see the scene as it is right now? Like, how do you see the scene? Do you see it like on an uprise? Do you see it at a standstill? Do you see it? I mean, it is totally different than back then.
Yeah.
But where do you see it? You know.
That's actually a good question, because actually, I mean, we have like a lot of good artists that's actually like
Skip was trying to come in.
You want to unlock him, Skip?
That's Skip.
What's up, Skip? How you doing, man?
It's Mauvlous and Corey.
But no, I think the Baltimore scene is definitely on the uprise. Like with the new talent, like Damon Blue, Take Hold Bang, and then who else we got that's really killing?
We got Band Hunter Izzy, YGG today.
See, now all of them, I have no idea who they are.
You got Creek Boys.
Yeah, I seen them when I covered Summer Jam for 92Q, and I mean, I'm not. That's not my music, but you know, they.
I see what you're saying. It's a different era now, so I see what you're saying.
Right,
so you're more like the Boss Man, the Scars, the King Lou's.
Well,
like Molly Man.
Yeah, Molly Man.
Well, I like all them, yeah, but I just the Creek Boys. They were. My thing is, I look for performance. I couldn't really hear their music because I was in the front of the stage, you know, so everything sounds crazy right there in front of the stage. I'm trying to take pictures, you know, so, but I do know that D-Boy is their manager or whatever. He's, you know, so I know that they have a certain level if D-Boy's dealing with them, because D-Boy, he has, you know, he has a certain level that he holds himself up to. So I do know that. I do know that my grandson and my granddaughter, who are the age of 3 and 2 now, they love the Money Man song.
Oh yeah, everybody. I even like that song. It's a very catchy song.
So my 2 grandchildren, my grandson, he gets on
kids
YouTube.
love that song.
Yeah. So you know, and we have this debate in here a lot of times where, you know, everyone's like, oh, you know, the kids, this, that, and the third, and I understand that it's a new era. It's a different brand. It's a different form of hip hop, and I've said this before. Rock music has rock and roll, but then it has different genres of rock and roll. It's got heavy metal, it's got death metal, it's got this, you know, it's got different kinds of soft rock, hard rock. You know, hip hop has always just had hip hop. Everything has gone under hip hop, but it is but we have to actually break it down. And that's why I say, like, that's like there's new stuff that's going on. It's a form of hip hop. It's like a branch off of that.
Exactly.
That's just not some of it is not. I don't like it. So, but y'all go ahead and do it. I'm not going to knock it, but you all go ahead and do it. What I have seen and what I call it is the YouTube era,
right?
Because they're getting fame off of YouTube videos where they're not having to go out and perform to get these the supporters, you know, and they're young kids, so their peers are spreading the word and liking the music and everything else. So they have a different network than what you guys had coming into this business. You know what I mean?
When we first started, YouTube was like just getting started.
Well, and how hard was it to get a video on YouTube? And then it couldn't be but so big. The file couldn't be but so big. It couldn't be this many minutes long, and there was no, you know, like I said, MySpace.
And all we had was MySpace.
Yeah, we had MySpace on that.
MySpace, you could only have 4 songs on your player.
Exactly.
And then you had to decide if you made a new song you want to put on your player, what song was going to come off. You know, so it's so much harder. So it's like we've paved the way.
True.
And then like these new kids are just jumping on and they're just taking off. And we're like, hey, wait a minute. You know,
it's that groundwork in, the hard work.
And I always have a problem with people not knowing the history of the Baltimore hip hop scene.
Oh, right.
You know, like I said, you know, we say something to them about 5 Seasons, they're like, what? What's that?
Yeah.
Is that a restaurant or something? No, 5 Seasons is, I called it, for me, it was like the Mecca of hip hop. Because for me, when I walked in that building, that's what I felt. Even though my very first show was Turntable Club on Jefferson Street.
Oh, wow.
That was my very first show. But 5 Seasons has always been my Mecca.
Yeah, I love that 5 Seasons though, because the stage was big. They had a nice stage.
Yeah, they had a nice stage.
Out.
And DJ booth was pretty cool too.
Well, when he changed it and took the DJ booth that was in the back out and made it on the stage, I told Solomon that was the wrong thing to do. Wrong thing to do. But, you know, it's his business. And then, yeah, he kind of lost it. Oh, okay. So, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. I got a notification and everything else was like, yeah. I'm trying to clear this stuff off my phone. That's the only problem with me YouTubing from my phone is like I get notifications and stuff on my phone. So you started out by sending me one song.
I know.
I see that. I was like, you sent me one song. Show is 2 hours long. One song. Okay. And then it was clean. I was like, well, it doesn't have to be clean because this is the internet and we cuss and carry on. I
But that song had like a lot of cuss. I'm like, yeah, I forgave it with me.
Yeah, I did it.
We parked on the little side of the meter. You think we good or no?
They should be good over there, shouldn't they? Like I said, they all parked in the damn bus lane.
We should be good then. We parked like on the side with a meter, with a parking meter.
Yeah, it should be.
Cool.
But
I'm trying to get told.
well, if they ain't told all these people.
Yeah, what?
So you sent me No Competition, Patience, and With Me.
Yes, I wanted to send you the Most High one. That's what we had the video for on YouTube, but I didn't have the correct version, so I'm trying to check it out. Yeah, I wanted you to hear that one.
All right. So is there any particular one that you want me to play?
You can play With Me. That's like the main one that every time we perform, everybody loves it. So.
Oh, okay. So this is Mauvlous, and it's a song called With Me. With Me. W-I-T.
Yeah.
Ain't no H on there. Big shirt. All right. So, yeah, take a listen.
I was super clean since I was 13. To the 4 boys just waited on it. See, my grandfather gave me his own gun. You know the worst, he won with the scope on it. I'm so focused for any opponent. Got the all white, don't get the dirt on it. I done bossed up and they done lost up. And then he looking at me like I'm next up. And I ain't dressed up with no dress code. Got the rap game in my chokehold. So cold and they so old. I'm like, hold up, wait, look. I've been chilling and feeling the killer game like a menace and no witnesses. Gotta turn him back to a citizen, ridiculous. Gotta show the boys what the difference is. And your girl gon' be talking no Dominican discipline. Cause she fell in love with a gentleman. And I let her get it back before I stick it in. Going crazy all wild, here we go again. Making more problems like the Cowboys and Indians. My Redskins only notice when you ballin'. So I guess it only count when we all in. And I'm running through the jungle like I'm Tarzan. And you looking like you might the coffin. All fans stop ways to annihilate them. And I'm praying that the boys don't violate them. Ride with me, fight with me, kill with me, die with me, cry with me. But we already know that. Don't play with me. No, not to play with me. Don't ride with me. Get drunk and high with me. Don't play with me. No, not to play with me. Don't ride with me. Get drunk and high with me.
What's wrong, Skip? What's wrong?
Gotta stay warm, baby. Gotta get heated for this motherfucker.
Right here? I was thinking the same thing. You right in front of the camera.
Nah, when I was stepping right on there.
I know, because it's like cold air coming straight off this window.
Oh, man, so I said, I got cold shit here. Oh, boy, you had
I was thinking the same thing. We need like a little heater. I was like, I had this little one, not this big for my bathroom. That bitch went up. I was mad as shit. I bought it for like $17. I mean, it lasted for like the whole last year. All right. I can see why people like that song.
Yeah, they gonna go crazy. It sounds better when you perform it actually than just listening to it. But
yeah. I don't listen to music before I get here. I don't listen, like when people say I don't listen to nothing until I get here.
Okay.
Because I'm a firm believer in giving my honest reaction.
Right.
I mean, I wear everything right here. All you got to do is when you see me at a show and I'm standing up there, because you know I'm at the front of the stage.
Yeah, you always at the front.
And I'm be right there, and if it's somebody I don't like, I'll be like,
yeah.
I can't pretend.
Yeah.
This is not in me. I'm too old for that.
You from Baltimore, so you know.
No, actually, I'm not from Baltimore. I'm from the Eastern Shore. I'm from a little country town, just like a little tiny country town. Like we had like less than 400 people in the town. Like yeah.
It's Maryland though.
Yeah, the four corners. We had one stoplight. Yeah, I had a cornfield next to my house, but I have that Baltimore mentality when it comes to a lot of things. I've been here long enough.
Right.
So that song right there with me, is that just something that like you can't, you just like, is there anything behind the song, you know, because sometimes people do have meanings behind songs, but is it just
this one? I don't think it's really no special meaning behind. It's just
fun, you know.
Just one of them have fun tracks.
One of them songs like
Don't play.
Right. That's the Baltimore attitude right there.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. But yeah, like you know, and I found that what you said is true. Like from listening to a song, like you be listening to a song on, you know, in the CD player on your phone, whatever, and then you go and watch them live. It's a totally different experience. Tech Nine is one of my favorite
artists. I had to see him live, but
I got to see him live this year.
Tech Nine,
he was on 2.5 hours. He was on stage.
Wow.
Just 2.5 hours.
So,
Right. We can barely get 20 minutes out of some of these artists.
I know, right?
I watched Rakim come late. He's about 2 hours late. Did 45 minutes and left. Of course, I found out later on he wasn't paid all of his money. That's why he left like he did. But 2.5 hours watching this man on stage, and I listen to his music and I watch his videos, but to see him live is totally a different experience. It's like you said, when you get on that stage, it's like something comes over you. Yeah. You become this person, and all your energy is just right there. So that song right there, like me listening to it, I'm thinking it's kind of a laid back kind of song, you know.
You would think
but seeing it being performed, get to see your passion for when you spit those lyrics.
Exactly.
That's one reason why I like being a photographer. I like catching those passionate moments of when you're, you know, when you're spitting. Yeah. So, who, once again, one of these lame ass questions, who was, I don't really want to say an inspiration, but who was like one of your favorite like artists? Like who's that one that's like, because I can't give you just one person because I have many, but who is like one of your right up at the top list? Like who's the one that kind of not really inspires you, but you know, you kind of get that when you hear their music, you kind of get that, oh, I want to write.
Yeah, that's that would definitely be Kanye West for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, the old one. People hate the new Kanye and the old Kanye, but it's just Kanye overall because he was like the first artist that like made me feel like it was you didn't have to be a gangster,
right?
And still like do your own thing. Like so, I just love that. So it was definitely Kanye West.
I mean, I did hear that he's recording a new album. I did hear that. Yeah, I heard that the other day. I just hope that he's getting himself together because he was going out there. I think the fame, I don't think it was really that he was going out there. I think he was just testing those boundaries of this Kanye West. I have this much clout in the world. Yeah. Now I'm married to Kim Kardashian. I have a little bit more clout in the world. Yeah. So I'm going to test those waters and see how far I can push it. And some people push back. Exactly. So I really don't think that he went crazy like Tyrese crazy. Right. But I think that he's testing those limits. He reminded me of my grandson testing the limits with me, you know. So, but it's just easy to say crazy Kanye.
But yeah, definitely like the first Kanye, you know, when he first came out like that. But like now, I would say more like J. Cole. J. Cole, man, yeah.
See, he's another one of those artists that I mentioned that he does what he wants to do. You don't hear him on the radio that much, but he has a strong fan base.
He's very strong.
You know, what I like about J. Cole is when he like, once again, I like storytellers.
Yeah,
but I like.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
I like metaphors.
I
like metaphors.
Okay.
Yeah, I like metaphors.
Okay.
So when he, like, I forget what it was. It was on what album was it? The one with because my ringtone is Missy Elliott singing. No,
you're talking
about Born Sinner.
Yes. When he says one thing and I'm like, I'm rocking off to it, and then I stop and I go, oh, but he means this. Oh my God. And it blows my mind.
Right.
I love that. I love when
it make you think.
I like
nursery, simple nursery.
No, I don't. I don't like complicated things, because there are some conscious rappers out there that when it makes me think and makes my brain hurt, because, you know, but I still appreciate that. But I like metaphors, and he, to me, is one of those artists. He does metaphors so well.
Yeah, he does.
And I like when he does the production, he makes his beats and he uses samples. And my ex was like, at first he was like, oh, he uses too many samples, because he's a rapper too. He used too many samples. But now he's one of the biggest J. Cole fans that I know.
Yeah. It's kind of hard not to be a J. Cole fan.
He's one of the realists. Like, he's for the people, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, who else is going to go on David Letterman and and spit his song and put in an extra verse, and you're like, I need this song. I need this version of this song. I did that. Still didn't get it. I need to just rip it off the video. But J. Cole is another one of those people that, like I said, I kind of put him in the category with, like, David Banner and Raheem DeVaughn. And I named them because I actually met them down in New Orleans in June, when I was down there in June. And I met both of them. And, you know, I was like, I had to go all the way to New Orleans to meet somebody who lives 45 minutes from me. Because, you know, Raheem's from... Yeah. But I was down there. And so J. Cole, I put him in that category because he does the music that he wants to do. Mm-hmm. He's not... doing his artistic, you know, he's not sacrificing his artistic ability or his artistic, you know, like what he wants to do.
Right.
There's too many of these artists that do that because they just want to be able to, well, if I do this, then I'm going to get radio airplay and I'm going to get this. Right. And I understand that you want to get that notoriety. Mm-hmm. But to me, that's selling your soul.
Yeah, definitely. If you know something about J. Cole, he was like, his career first started, he had like the bling out, like he had chains on, was real fresh. Now you see him, he's like real.
None
of that stuff matters.
Less fancy he gets.
Yeah,
right.
He's starting to realize like that's
and he's spoken about that a lot. Yeah. I mean, even in his music.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And so that's why, like, when I hear people say that, you know, J. Cole and artists like him, or like, I kind of like vibe towards them. I'm like, that means you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Yeah, you're not gonna sell your soul to you know. Yeah. So what are you ultimately looking for? I know it used to be everybody's like, oh, I want a deal. Well, deals really aren't what they used to be. So what are you looking to strive for as far as with your music and business? Like, is there like, do you have a ultimate goal, or are you just like, well, right now what I want to do is this, to get to this level, and then, you know.
Like, I have my ultimate goal, but I do take like small, like not small steps, but I do like have one goal that I want to accomplish first. And it might be small to people. Like, one of my main goals I want this year, I just want to be nominated for the Baltimore Awards, like just to have my name in there, like not even like I don't even have to win, but just be acknowledged by your city.
Right.
So that's just like a small thing. But like my ultimate goal is, of course, I just want to have like that one album that everybody always remembers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just one of them artists. Like, not I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, but I'm just saying.
It's one of those albums that's like stamped as a classic.
Right.
That's all. Yeah.
I've never heard that from anybody. That's something new.
Yeah,
like
I'm satisfied with that.
Right.
I don't have to be a top forever or none of that, but I just like he was here.
You just want to give your mark. You know?
Yeah. Right.
I was here. I came. I saw. I conquered.
Right. You want to just like etch it in stone so nobody can come along and try to paint over it or erase over it or anything like that. You just want it etched in stone and yep, there it is. The only way you're gonna do that is you can blow the whole wall up.
Right.
Yeah. That's like I said. I've never heard anybody. That. I've asked that question of a few people, and then one person, one artist, he said he wanted to get to a certain point where he was done rapping, and he was going to focus on helping those the newer ones, get to the help them along. And I was like, he's like, I basically want to be able to run like almost like my own label and have artists underneath me and help them achieve what they want to do. He was like, because I'm not going to rap forever. And I was like,
wow. You got to have a different outlet eventually.
Right. So, with that being said, besides writing music, is there anything else that you do besides just write music? Is there something else that you are looking to get into besides the writing and the rapping of music? Or
really a lot of stuff. I mean, we got ideas. Like, you want to do like, you want to do like comedic stuff, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get more into acting.
Get more into acting. Do like little skits, just little snippets of like little movie scenes and stuff like that. I'm a writer myself. Like,
yeah,
I love to write. Like, I love to write. I write storylines, plots, all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I love to write. So.
Yeah, because like when you were talking about acting, K-Mac from Mauvlous, he's doing plays. He's actually rehearsing for The Wire again. They're going to Virginia, I think it was. I think that's what I seen. Huli Shalom is another one who's an artist, and he acts in plays and stuff. And I think he's trying to do movies. So I like to ask that because a lot of people, what they do is they get in this tunnel, and that's the only thing. And I'm like, I'm not saying that you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve, but always have a plan B at least. So that's why I see a lot of artists who, they're not just artists, they make beats. Mm-hmm. They're not just artists, they look at Prophet. When I met Prophet, all that little white boy did was rap. And I was like, this little white boy raps? What? So I next thing I know, he's doing music videos and he's got a recording studio, and then he's throwing shows, and he's doing everything. And I'm like, so, and he still raps occasionally, but he's more of a business. He's done going to the businessman side.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So I always like to see people with plans, that have other talents as well. Because like you said, you write story. You never know. His next video, you're probably going to write the treatment plan for it. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to plan it all out. That way it doesn't look like everybody else's video where everybody's standing outside on the street corner of the corner store in the hood, and you got people in the video that you don't even know who the hell they are. You just needed some extras.
Right.
So I just like to see people have plan Bs. Mm-hmm. I want you to achieve what you want to achieve.
Right.
I always want that for everybody, because that's just me. I want to see you get to that next level and keep going. I want to see you make that classic album.
Yeah. And
have your name up there when people say, yo, remember that album that he had? Da, 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 da. Yeah, I still got it. So, I always want people to have that in mind. Like I said, it's me. I started out just being a fan, coming to shows. I didn't know nobody.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea about this Baltimore scene.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody hit me on MySpace. I checked things out. Next thing I know, I'm listening to radio shows on Blog Talk. I'm getting to hear names, and then I go to shows, and I'm taking pictures because I don't know anybody. So I'm trying to take pictures of people So I know who they are.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm the Baltimore Paparazzi. Everybody knows me.
Everybody knows you.
I'm like, I actually had people come up to me, be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Be like, "Hi, you don't remember me?" No. I used to lie. Like, "Hey, how you doing?" Da, 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 da. Ask my homeboy, "Who was that?" He'd be like, "I don't know. I was getting ready to ask you who that was," because he has a worse memory than me. But you know, I stumbled into this. You ran into it.
Yeah. Full speed.
So you just came off of the tour with Billy. So what kind of plans do you have? Any shows coming up? Any plans coming up, or is it studio time? New album?
Yeah, actually, we left the CDs of Mind Control. We was going to bring you one. Actually, I just did a mixtape called Mind Control. So yeah, we just finished that. That been out for a while. We actually just shot a video last night, like a little house party scene for one of the songs. Yeah, so we just did a video last night. But shows, no, after the Billy show, we're going to show back on shows a little bit. Get this paperwork, get a lot of business side stuff done, and
so when we come out, we can come out full.
Right, right.
So we can come out, we can have no reason to there's no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah,
you can't get to know who we are.
Right.
So this is like next year is coming. It's gonna be a real good year for us because we have like strong songs that we actually know how to like market these songs down and put them in the right hands and not waste money on doing unnecessary things. So yeah, we're just gonna show back on the shows. We're still gonna do shows, but like
because how many of the tour how much of the tour did you do? Because I know you did in New York.
We did Delaware. We did New York. We did.
Did you do Jersey?
No, we didn't do New Jersey.
What about PA? The ones in PA.
We did one of the PAs. We did Lock Haven.
You did Lock Haven? Is that the one? Which one is that? Because I've been to. Was it Milton? I went to. I think it was Milton. Milton's like 2.5 hours away. I don't know about Lock Haven.
We didn't do the PA one on the tour, but we did plenty of the PA shows with Billy before the tour.
We did the DC one too.
Oh yeah, we did the DC one. So yeah. Pick certain spots.
Yeah, because I knew you had done numerous ones because I know he had like he kind of had some of the same people on the tour. You know, some people due to jobs, families. They couldn't make all of the shows. I was actually going to go to the one up in Philly, but I think I had my daughter had went to the hospital the night before, morning before, and then I wasn't feeling well. And my homegirl, she was going to take me up there, and she wasn't feeling well, so we was like, well, no. I didn't even tell. I was going to just like come surprise, here I am. But yeah, because I knew, like I said, I knew you had done. I knew you had done a majority of them. I'll say. Yeah. I remember seeing your name on the flyer or whatnot. So I can completely understand about, okay, we need to slow down a little bit because we was hopping here, hopping there. We was going here, going there. And like I said, you say you have a child.
Yes, I have a 6-year-old son and I have a 6-year-old stepdaughter.
Oh,
so
those are handfuls.
Exactly.
So and then that's like I said, a lot of times, certain things, you have family issues, family things going on, you have jobs, so certain, like, that's what keeps me from doing certain things, going to certain places. Getting the paperwork straight is number one on your to-do list.
That's all we're focused on. It's no point in even doing anything.
We're not doing anything until we get all that situated and things put in line.
Right.
And we can boom.
So I had seen, Anchor had made a post and tagged you and Hef Music in the post.
Yes.
So yeah, because I had Hef on the show before one of the shows at the Auto Bar, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was Hef, the Blizz, J Rel. Of course, he goes by J Rello now. Excuse me, J Rello now. That's still gonna be J Rel to me. And the girl, Amzilla. The white girl from out.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Way out there.
Actually, supposed to be get a song together too.
She amazed me.
Yeah, I like her.
She amazed me. I'm not gonna lie. For her just starting out,
yeah.
she blew me away.
Right.
I had to let my ex listen to the song, and he was like, "Well, damn, I'm mad that I missed seeing her that night because it was that the night with the networking show. We got there late,
yeah.
and he was like, so I played her the song that she had sent me, and he was like, damn, now I'm mad I missed her. I was like, yeah, she really blew me away. She was like, I just started rapping one day. I was like, who does that?
Yeah, I like her. I seen her perform. I was like, yeah, I like her. Like,
she's got so much energy.
Yeah. And she's like real passionate about it too. I can tell that about certain artists. So
yeah.
Definitely want a song with her.
So how did you cross paths with Billy? Because you already said that you had dealt with Prophet and everything. So how did you cross paths with Billy?
I crossed paths with Billy through Andre, Bamboo, because he started doing shows with Billy and stuff. Yeah,
because he would meet up with me to get tickets. He met up with me once to get tickets because I was doing it. Me and Therese were doing. We did. She would do half the artist. I would do the other half of the artist to give them their tickets for the shows.
Right. So yeah, I've been knowing Billy's, back then since then, and then like me and Billy relationship has like really got stronger since the past couple of years. So now he's just like taking me in. Like, he looks out for me a lot. So
yeah, Billy is one of those people that if you show him love, he's gonna definitely show it back.
Right.
And he always looks for that person that's what they do. Like you're really about the music and you're really about doing shows and you're really about doing this. There's too many people who just take it opportunity wise.
Right.
And they only come around when it's an opportunity for them.
Yeah.
So, I just lost my train of thought. I'm getting old. That's what it is. I'm getting old. I'm really getting old. So we got No Competition and Patience. So, which one you gonna pick to play next?
I would say No Competition.
I was thinking the same thing. So, because with me, and now we got No Competition. I'm starting to see a pattern here with this. I'm starting to see a pattern. But yeah, so this is No Competition with Mauvlous, and we'll be right back, and maybe I'll get my brain going again. I think it's this damn Henny that 3D gave me.
He said he was going to make sure
he gave me a strong. Every time I take a drink, I'm glad I'm not on camera. Every time I take a drink, it's like, oh God, he's trying to kill me, y'all. He really is. He says he loves me, but he's trying to kill me. So this is No Competition.
Set me on a bitch, I can't play for the team. Now niggas just participants, this shit is done. This is that, this is that, this is that. Niggas is bitches. Okay. This is that, this is that, this is that. Racks in the bitches, there's no competition. Okay. This is that work on the table. This is all we know, I ain't you. This is that pot on the stove. This is that bringing that trophy back home. This is that I am too focused. This is that I know you hold this. This is that loud that you smoking. This is that keep your eyes open. This is that cracking in the kitchen. This is that walk if you slipping. This is that, this is that, this is that, this is that, this is that. No competition. No competition. No competition.
Okay. Like I said, I see a pattern going on here. I'm telling you. Yeah, I like that. That beat reminded me of this one part of, it's crazy, Step Up Part 2 in the streets when they was doing the little dance thing and the girl, they were dancing and he was like this on her, like he was beating the drums on, and they said, you sound like anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Your voice and all, you don't, to me, you don't sound like so-and-so. Or you don't put me in mind of so-and-so, which is, like, to me is a good thing.
Yeah, I think that is a good thing, too.
Yeah.
You know, so that way you have a very, very distinctive voice and cadence as well. You know, as, like I said, I look at so many different things when it comes to artists. My ex, I tell him all the time, like he can ride just about any beat given, and it's crazy to me that he can do that. And you know, so that's something that I look at too. Like, how does this artist ride the beat? How does this artist, you know, like, do you rhyme the same words with itself like Nicki Minaj did with the word China? You know, China, and you know, you couldn't come up with anything, or that was a gimmick. Oh, okay. But you know, I look at so many different things. Just like I said, I look at stage presence. Like, I actually had somebody tell me, oh, well, you better get your camera ready because when my man gets up on stage, he gonna give you a show. He gonna do this, he gonna do that. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. My camera's always ready, but okay. So dude gets up on stage, and I'm expecting him just like to wild out and, you know, give me a stage presence, a stage performance. He stood there, no lie, mic up like this, with his eyes closed the whole time he was on stage.
Oh, wow.
Just like rocking back and forth a little bit. And I'm just like waiting for him to give me a show. You know, no. You know, so like I said, I look at so many different aspects of an artist. Whereas somebody might just look at, you know, how you are on stage, turn up. I'm like, that's cool and all. But I can't do a whole CD of just turn up.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
That's also why I wanted to give it a track Most High, but you know, I couldn't get the break.
See, and that goes to the next question. Like your music, I can just tell by those two songs, you just don't have the same type.
Yeah.
You know, always try to do something different. We don't try to sound the same. We don't try to imitate anybody.
Right.
It's not it, and it's also like we're so versatile too. Like, I can't even really put this in a category right now because like.
See, and that's a good thing.
Like, I mean, if we had we would love to do songs with rock and roll artists, artists, Spanish artists, like reggae songs, like everything.
Right, and see, and to me that's a good thing because you're not pigeonholed into one genre. You can actually, quote unquote, cross over. You know, that's what they always talk about. All day, like, one of the first songs that I remember, because I knew who Tech Nine was for years, but I never was really like a fan. Like, I knew who he was. I knew that he was different.
Right.
I knew that he was on another level than everybody else. But it wasn't until he did the song with T-Pain called Bitch. But it was breaking into colored houses. And it was a song about how he was black, but the majority of his fans were white because of the music that he raps. Yeah, he does hip hop, but he does hip hop over rock and roll beats.
Right, he got a
and you know,
punk
yeah. But he was a black rapper. which that is then, but his audience was white. So he had to break into colored people's houses with music. He did a song with T-Pain, and that was his crossover, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of his fans felt as though he sold out because he went that route.
Not to cut you up. I think he just hit your boyfriend's car. I mean, not your boyfriend, but.
No, my boss? I hope not.
Yeah, I did hit him twice and he got out and looked on the side of it. Shit.
I have no idea. If Skipper's probably not even listening.
Yeah, he rolled out, so he probably didn't do no damage.
I don't know. I don't know if Skipper's listening. I don't have no way of telling Skipper, you back out here and look at the truck. But yeah, so that's like with you not being pigeonholed into, you know, one type of genre of hip hop. Like I said, that both of those songs.
Okay.
So that's why I said like be. You know, and you're not selling your soul and selling your integrity because you're doing something that you like. You know what I mean? Like you said, you want to do with rock bands and reggae and all different types because you want to tap into those things because that's something that you want to do.
I also, I was actually fortunate because my brother, he listened to a lot of different styles of music when I was, like, he was big on rock and roll in the 90s and hip hop, pop, everything. So he had come into the house with Britney Spears album, Eminem album, and a Weezer album. Then next week he'll come in with Bone Thugs and Harmony and Limp Bizkit and just
Limp Bizkit was awesome. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. You just want to break stuff. You just want to like, ah! You know what I mean? So like I said, different music gives you different emotions. You know what I mean? I listen to everything. I don't not as much as I used to, but I've listened to country music. I've listened to rock and roll. I've listened to bluegrass. I've listened to hip hop. I've listened to R&B. I've listened to all different classical music. Right. So it's music to me. You know what I mean? So given that you listen to those different genres, your brother kind of introduced you to those different genres, it probably give you a broader aspect of music itself.
Yeah. I can't turn the music off. He beat me up for 20 minutes. I learned to love all styles of music. And
I'm like, I thought about this a few weeks ago. I wanted to take like a rock song and take the lyrics and post them to see what people would say, because lyrics are lyrics. And even in rock music, they rhyme words. You know what I mean? So I wanted to see if people would pick up that it was a rock song and not. People are like, oh, I don't listen to that rock and roll music. And I'm like, I bet you if you listen to the lyrics, you probably would. Because I said the same thing about Kevin Gates. My kids was playing Kevin Gates left and like, what are we listening to? I'm in my daughter's car, so I can't, I'm not going to turn it off. It's her car. And I'm like, what are we listening to? She's like, it's Kevin Gates. I was like, who? She's like, ah. So finally, one of the songs hit me. And I was like, let me go. So I went home, got on the computer. I'm a big thing about looking lyrics up. And I looked up the lyrics and I read the lyrics and I was like, So I looked up the lyrics on some other songs of his. I'm relating to this man more than I thought because I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. I was paying attention to like everything all together. And plus he got that New Orleans accent. Well, he got that Louisiana accent. So, it kind of threw me off too. So, that my kids try to teach me how to listen, I guess. I taught them how to listen to local underground artists. you know, and some of them have become, like, my kids grew up in this. So, you know, my daughter had her Sweet 16 birthday party. It was a show. It was a show. She had comp performed for her. You know, she had Linwood perform for her. Like, she picked the lineup, and I presented it to these artists. They were like, damn right, we'll do it. So, and it was, you know, my kids grew up in this. So as much as I teach them, they're teaching me, like, oh, Mom, you just got to listen. Like, I still can't listen to Lil Boosie.
That voice.
Yes, it's so annoying. Now, I just watched the interview with him on TMZ, and I could stand him talking.
Right.
But when he raps, forget it. I don't care how good the song is. He's talking about his kids. I don't care. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So, since you have children, have you written songs about your children? Or included them in the music? Or you just haven't gotten there yet?
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
But you got Isaiah in your voiceover.
But no, I mean, like, you gotta really make a song like about them. No,
yeah,
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I just don't. Like when I was talking about like putting yourself into the music, you're like, I really haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, like,
so I was wondering.
I like say a line about it or mention it, but no, you gotta really like make a song about it, or like really make a song or putting yourself into it. No, I haven't done that.
Yeah, because I think I could be wrong, but I think that you're just not ready to be that vulnerable to the people that listen to your music, because that would show, like, me, I'm just too old for that. So I'd be like, the people are like, no, don't put that on Facebook. My mother tells me all the time, why'd you put that on Facebook? I'm like, because I want to. Because I can. Who's going to fight me? Nobody. So, but a lot of people, they're not comfortable with letting people who don't know them in. Yeah. You know, I'm going to give you this part,
right?
But other than that, you can't get past that door.
Yeah.
You know, you right here in the front room, but you can't go into the dining room.
Right.
You know, so that's why when I asked you that, you know, if you made a song yet for your son or, you know, or anything. So you're just not at that point yet.
Yeah, I could feel one coming though, especially having to be more of a family man now. Like, that's like the main part I'm going through right now. I'm trying to balance all this and like.
And I was getting ready.
You definitely can do it.
And I was getting ready to ask you about that, because I was in a relationship with somebody who is an artist, and he raps and he's on the scene, and it was kind of hard, but it wasn't.
Right.
But my whole thing was like, our relationship, we knew about our relationship, and certain people around us knew about our relationship, but it wasn't like I put on Facebook that I'm in a relationship with it and all this stuff. It was never that. People seen pictures of us together. People seen us together. You know what I mean? So it was like, who needed to know knew. But when it came to them chicks writing stuff on his Facebook page, I had a little bit of an issue. I didn't go off on him, but I had a little bit of an issue for it, because you need to let these chicks know. Yeah, you can be my fan. You don't need to be a groupie.
Right.
So he had actually on his birthday, I threw a party, a show at 5 Seasons for him and his brother, because their birthdays are just a few days apart. And we're in there, and I'm setting stuff up, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I turn around and see this girl running up to the stage, and I'm like, this is a girl he was talking to before he started talking to me.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, threw me off the rest of the night.
Oh, I completely understand.
But
trying to balance that.
Trying to balance.
Artists, it never goes good. Especially by me and my baby mother didn't work out. My ex-girl didn't work out. Having to keep going to all these rap shows. Like, yeah, another show again. And then gotta come. Like, most girls, they like it in the beginning, then after a while, they're like, nah, I'm not doing it. But my recent girl that I'm with now, she was like more into the party scene, I guess, more so, what you say?
Yeah, she liked to have fun.
So but like,
she's more supportive of you.
Like way more supportive, make it way more easier for me. Like, she's like usually having a girlfriend that slows down the music, like she helps me pick it back up. Like,
right. Because that's like I said, like with him, you know, I wanted to go to studio with him, I like being in the studio. I love it. I wanted to be at the studio with him. Oh, you got another show? Oh, okay, cool. Right. Because I was in that element already. Yeah. It's kind of tough for somebody else. It's like you said, it's cool at first, and then why you gotta go to the studio? Yeah. Why don't you come with me? And just sit there? Well, then you know how boring it is at the damn studio. It's not like what you see on videos and stuff where there's 50 hoes in there dancing around twerking. It's not like that. But some females, it's just that mindset, and it's tough for them. And I can understand why it's tough for them, but I can also understand why it's tough on the artist who's trying to make that. Go out there and see if somebody hit the front of your car. Some guy he stopped right over there, like in front of the car, and stopped that and got out and looked. But we don't know. We didn't hear anything, but I don't know what happened. Because you parked right here, right? On the passenger front side. He got out and he looked, but I don't know. And then he drove off. Local.
That's good.
It's not a local level, but this underground level that you're gonna have groupies. Yeah. Like it's unbelievable. You're gonna have groupies. You're gonna have those girls who think that really do believe that you're up here because you're on this stage and you're performing. But as long as you got is it good? All right. We didn't know because he stopped, got out, and then he got in and drove off, so we didn't know what happened. We didn't hear no crash or nothing. That's good. But I've seen it time and time again. Yeah. So it can be trying. Like you said, baby mother couldn't handle it. Girlfriends couldn't handle it. It's just one of those things that it's. And I don't think it's really not the music to blame. It's the mentality.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the mentality. So I'm gonna be waiting for that song to your child. So
it's coming.
Because that's gonna be one of the. I'm gonna tell you. Them girls are gonna be like, because my friend that I have now, he's always talking about his son. He's always talking about his son. He's pictures of his son. He does all this for his son, and all the females. Oh, you're such a good dad. I'm like, bitch, get your own baby daddy. But yeah,
it's coming.
But yeah, so what's your favorite, I don't want to say genre, but what's your favorite music to listen to when you're not, you just listening to music? What's something that you just like listen to? Or are you an artist that just listens to your own music? Because I've had artists say that. I just listen to my own shit.
I barely even listen to my music. I need to actually do that a little bit more. I make songs and then I never listen to them. Not because I don't like them. I don't know. I'm
going to tell you why. You want to know? My psychology's kicking in.
Please.
Because you have that shy personality.
Right.
See, that's like me. I don't like pictures of myself. I rarely have selfies. If I do take selfies, my hair is done, my makeup is done, or I'm in a picture with my grandchildren. And I probably look crazy as hell. But I don't like my picture taken. I don't like people coming, oh yeah, I'll take a picture of these. No. It's that shyness and that introvert. So when you make a song, you feel some kind of way about listening to it. You're like,
that is so true, because my daughter, she plays it every day. When she comes from work, from school, she'll play my videos all the time. You play something else?
Yeah, you're like,
and everybody's around. She's like, put your songs on, put your songs on.
Yeah, and you're like, I want the notoriety, but I'm not ready for that yet. That's that psychology of your.
But the music I do listen to, just to listen to it. I don't know what genre, Imagine Dragons. What genre?
You know what? Yeah. I just watched an interview with the lead singer about how he was dealing with depression.
Yeah, I can tell, because I love. They're my favorite group ever. I'm sorry. Like all that music.
No, don't be sorry because I listened to they did a song with somebody and I was like, yo, who the fuck is this? Imagine Dragons. What is this? Puff the Magic Dragon? What is this? I was like, yo, I like this.
Probably was Sucker for Pain, was it?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, awesome.
I introduced you to a lot of people that listen to hip hop. Really bring on.
See, and that's what I like when they do that. That's like I said with the whole Tech Nine with the T-Pain. That introduced tech to a lot of hip hop artists and a lot of pop artists that didn't really. They were like Tech Nine. Oh my goodness, no. And then when they heard this song with T-Pain on the hook, and they were like, wait a minute, hold up, he's not as bad. Plus, he wasn't rapping as fast as he does on that song because he slowed it down on that song. But like I said, Sucker for Pain, yeah, that introduced a lot of Because I'm gonna tell you right now.
A lot of people are like, who are these guys? Like,
yeah. So, cause that's one of my favorite songs, and like that soundtrack was actually so diverse.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad soundtrack was so diverse.
I don't know if you listen to let's see, who they call 21 Pilots. They had a song called Heathens on there too. I really like that one too.
I listened to the whole thing, but Sucker for Pain is just like that the vibe and the beat of that. Like I said, music is therapy for me. So when I'm that's why I asked you, what do you listen to when you're just listening to music? Because before you got here, I was listening to what the hell's his name? Say his name again. Jadina. He's got two N's in there, so it throws me off. Him. And of course, I was listening to Kevin Gates before that. I was listening to by Any Means Too. Once again,
Kevin Gates fan.
You just have no idea. I'm just waiting for him to get out and get in that studio. He can go spend time with his wife. He can go spend time with his kids. He can go spend time. But I'm waiting for him to get in that studio because he's going to have a lot to say.
I'm sure he will.
I'm waiting for it. So, when you write your music, how can I say this? Can you do you have to be in a certain mood, or do you have to, does it just like all of a sudden be like, you hear, or do you like hear a beat and be like, oh, I can write something to this, or because I write and I have writer's block all the time. Yeah. Like I have all these ideas in my head, and then when I go to my laptop, and I'm like,
yeah, I did that a lot of stuff too. I had a lot of stuff put in my head when I actually trying to put it on wax. And you gotta really process what you got up here and really put
I've been writing a book for years, and it's just stuck right here.
Yeah, I used to, the writer's block, I used to deal with that like a lot back in the early, but now I don't really get writer's block no more. It's like more like, I don't know if I've grown so much of an artist, but it's like once I know like I want to do this song, the concept, and
yeah, he said concept. Love it. Told you, I'm listening for keywords. That's why I said concept. Because like I said, I'm old school when it comes to stuff like that. Like your songs have to say stuff, and they have to be. I like to know what's the purpose behind. That's why I asked you: is there any purpose behind this song? Is there any reason behind? Well, I was going through this one day, and I was like, and wrote the song.
Yeah, with me, nah, that didn't have no purpose.
Yeah, because
we usually do write songs like with purpose, but that one was more
like we need to have something fun.
But no competition. That song was actually made for a competition. That wasn't even going to be on our project, but
that's good though.
Yeah, we came in. What do you say? I think we came in like 3rd place or something. I'm like, oh well, I'm still going to use the song. I was in like,
well, and you gotta think about competitions. Yeah. Some of them are not on the up and up, and some of them are just questionable.
Some of them just for money too.
Yeah. So, but I like I said, I listen to keywords, and concept is one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But because I like I said, I like to know the whole because some people, I know people that can write a song and then they try to find a beat to fit that song. Yeah. Or, like I said, I keep bringing up my ex because he's the only one I can really refer to because I've talked to about this kind of stuff. And, he has tons of stuff written in his phone. Tons of stuff that he's written, and, he'll be like, yo, can you do me a favor? Can you go get me this beat? and I'll go get him the beat and I email it to him, and he'll be writing to it or whatever. But he's got tons of stuff written. He got tons of stuff written to beats. And hasn't recorded them yet. Like, if you get your hands in this studio, he's like, it takes money, and I'm always working.
I always try to be that type of artist. Like,
never probably ever get recorded.
right. Then he lost the phone.
I had I was like on golden phone. I had story ideas. I had songs. I had ideas.
Don't that just make you sick to your stomach?
So many things.
It just makes you sick to your stomach.
I was like, oh man.
Billy said, "What's up?"
Oh, hey, Billy. But so when you're writing music, like you write to the beat, like you're listening to the beat and you're writing at the same time.
I write to the beat. I usually don't write like just write down. Well, not hearing enough. I usually don't write like that. More of a song. Like I need the song and concept, and so I write to the beat all the time.
Yeah, because like I said, I know there's some people that they'll write a song. Because it'll be in their head or whatever, and they'll write it out, and then
like hooks down. Like, I gotta find the right beat for this hook. And
because like I said, I've been around the music on so many different aspects that that's why when I ask questions, it's because I've been around and I've experienced it, and I want to see what your experience has been with the same thing, so. Like I said, I know people that write and then they'll come across the beat like, oh, I think this will go with that, and but for primarily, I think it just makes more sense to sit down and write as the beat is playing, that way you can get the bars and everything.
Yeah, there's sometimes certain things in the beat where like the beat will break down, like, oh, you want to go a little fast on this part, you want to go a little slow on this part, you don't even want to say nothing on this part.
Right.
Or sometimes I like wrote before, and then I'll come back and ready to do it, and I don't feel the same way as what I wrote at that time. So I like more on the spot type stuff like that.
So you do collabos, like you collab, because we talked about you and Mzilla possibly doing a song together.
Recently I haven't done no features or collaborations, but I didn't got hit up like so many times now. Like a lot of people want to work with me. I guess
I'm sure since you've been on the tour,
anymore. So I got a lot of collabos coming out now. Like half we're doing something. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kid Kong. I said his name right. Yeah, Kid Kong. That's somebody you should probably want to check into. He's very talented. He's very like very different. He's one of them type of artists, like you said, doesn't follow what everybody else does. So, but we got something working on. Who else? Of course, I got to find a song with Billy.
Good luck with that, Mr. Busy, always doing something. Yay, because actually I've already put out one, and the second one is got the songs for it. This one, your music will be on my third mixtape for. Oh, nice. I've got it'll be 4 or 5. I'm at 4, 5, 6. You had to be on number 6 because I have a mixtape series called In the Spotlight. I started it years ago, and there's 3 of them already. I put one together a few weeks back of music from artists from when I started last September, and it's like 20 tracks on the first one. So then the next one's gonna have like the next like 20 artists. And and this is just my way of being able to show people Baltimore talent or whoever I have here, because I had an artist on here who's actually from Philadelphia, I think. He's an R&B from an artist that's been on my show, and I make a mixtape. So Billy's song that he just did the video for, I think that's on the mixtape. Yeah, I think it's on the mixtape. But I have a song with him with a collabo, which is actually of him, Baltimore Big Steve, K-Mac, and Ogun. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that one might slip on there somewhere, somehow or another. But yeah, he's with his collabs. Like I said, he stays so busy. Yeah,
he's always busy.
So.
It's hard to get a new studio, but he's gonna get it.
Oh yeah. If he says he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. Trust and believe, he is going to do it. But back to what I was saying about the collaborations and the features and all. It's kind of probably hard to do this. If you're able to, do you sit down with that person and listen to the beat at the same time? I know it's kind of hard to do that because of where people live and schedules and stuff.
Well, I think majority the easiest way for artists to work together is like you either send them the beat with your part recorded already, and you just let them know where you want to, how you do it. That's how most people are doing it nowadays. But sitting down, going over the beat, I think that is the best results to get out of a collaboration. Actually sitting down with them in the studio. But nowadays, no, everybody can't really.
Yeah, a lot of it's more digital now.
Yeah.
Well, for one, I've had people say this, that they've recorded their verse, and they send it to the person, and the person records their verse and sends it back, and the first person's like, I gotta redo my verse.
Oh yeah. That's another thing.
I gotta redo my verse because they just killed me on my own song.
There's a word for that. I forgot what that was called though. But
I don't know, but I've had a few people like say that, so that's why I wonder, in this day and age, it's so much easier to do that. Record it and then send them the track and this, that, and the third, and then and everything. Because like I said, people do live in different places.
Right. People
do live, they got, you might work during the day, he might work night shift, or, but you want to get that song because you just know that it's going to mesh well. Yeah. So, I think me personally, I think being able to sit down next to the person and going over it, and that way you could, like, if you're saying this, and he'd be like, well, I think if you said this, it might go flow better, and then you can bounce ideas off of that person. Yeah. But it's just like you said, it's kind of tough. It's kind of hard to do that nowadays.
And it's funny you also said that too, because sometimes I do like when a rapper want to do a song with me, he'll send it to me with his verse already on it, so that I know what I got to do to have a better verse than that. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on top. So
because like I said, I've seen it happen. Yeah. Been like, yo. He sent me that
I think it's kind of better if you just make the hook like, I want you to rap here. Let them do that verses first, and you do your verses last. That's just me personally.
Right.
I'd rather get the hook and the concept first. Y'all go ahead and put y'all parts in.
Right, because what I hate a song and the name of the song and the hook says, it correlates with the song, and then the first verse it goes along with the name and the hook, and then the second verse comes on. You're like, where the hell is he going with this? Yeah. Because it doesn't follow with the concept.
It's always best to have the hook first.
Yeah.
If you come with the verses, the song can jump kind of anywhere after that.
Right.
The hook is, that's what's supposed to be the brain.
Right. Right. So, do you favor the dumbed down catchy hooks?
It's funny because actually I try not to, but I found myself making more of those now.
Of where it's just something and you just keep repeating it for the next few bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that type of music, but
I know that the youth likes it, so we'll do it just because it's an incentive for them.
It's like here you go, put it on the hook, throw it out there, be like, go ahead, take a bite, take a bite, okay, and then you reel them in and be like, now listen to this.
Now you gotta catch the ear first, It's all about catching the ear sometimes.
That's how you get their heart, you get their ear.
Right. And I think, like I said, I've had this conversation about the new age music or whatever you want to call it. And people are like, well, I mean, you just need to get over it. It's the youth. This is what they're listening to. And I'm like, this is what the corporation of music, the music industry has told them. This is what you listen to. Listen to Little Yachty. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not listening to his dumb down. Listen to Designer. No, I don't want to listen to them. They're telling them, they're playing it, and it's repetition. It's almost like Pavlov's dog. You keep playing it, and when you ring that bell, they go right for it. So this is what they want to listen to. It's because it's what they're being programmed to listen to.
They don't know what they're going to listen to.
Because my mother and father played 50s, 60s, 70s rock and roll and country music. My mother was walking around the house singing Tammy Wynette all the time. But they gave me that foundation about music. You know what I mean? So when I started listening to hip hop, because I've been there since the beginning, so when I heard Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight, I was like, what is this? What is this? you know, and you know, the message, you know, and there's earlier songs, it was like, okay, what is this? So, you know, people go back and like, well, you want to talk about how these songs don't make any sense. What about DOS Effects? Okay, I like DOS Effects. Yes, but they did make up words. Yeah. I understand that. But, you know, like I said, it's what the industry is telling people, this is what you want to listen to. And we're gearing you towards this. Whereas if you play, I played music for my kids.
Right.
So yeah, they still listen to the music that they're listening to now. But they still appreciate the music that I like too.
That's the only thing I don't like when people just don't appreciate old school hip hop. Like, you can't knock it because there would be no hip hop now without old school hip hop. So.
Right. I think Billy needs to put on another. A few years ago, Billy put on a was it Tupac or Biggie? Might have been both. Tribute show.
It was a Tupac. Yeah.
And
I seen the flyer. It came up on that Memories.
And I think he needs to do something like that for another rapper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to throw him that idea. Here, go do this. I don't want nothing to do with it. You just go ahead. But I think that blend. You know what I mean? I think that like I can't deal with that music because it's dumbed down. It's repetitious. It's yeah, and it makes my brain hurt. You know, I try. Right. I can't do it. And so I'm hoping that the next wave of hip hop comes back around and some substance comes about. I mean, we can still have the same beats and all, because some of them beats are hard as shit.
Yeah.
But let's have some
That's
words.
What some of the people were saying. Like, they like it just for the beat. They don't really care about the lyrics no more. They just... The beat's good.
The song by Yo Gotti that somebody corrected me, Scar corrected me and said that it was Cameron's song, the "Fuck You" song.
Right.
I got the instrumental because I just like the instrumental. I just like the instrumental. So, yay. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me.
Respect
so, this last song that you sent me is called Patience.
Yeah, I was going to see if you could not play that one.
Okay.
If you could play, if there's any way you could play the video of Most High or no?
Yeah, I could probably play that if I could probably find it. Oh, yeah, it might help if I put my glasses on so I can see what I'm typing. But, yeah. He was like, just don't play that song. No, I don't want to play that song. This computer is running slow today. I don't know why.
But I am glad that we finally got this interview though, because your name is like very strong in the city. Like, seriously, I've been hearing about you like back going on. So like,
it's crazy because like just as many people tell me that, just as many people don't know me.
It be like that though. Like,
yeah, and that's why what's the song called?
You can talk. Yeah, Most High.
But I mean, I had an artist.
Yeah, that one right there.
I had an artist come up to me one night at Sonar at a Billy Live show and say something about why didn't you take no pictures of me? Don't you know who I am? I said, no. I said, but do you know who I am? He was like, yeah, you the Baltimore Paparazzi. I was like, see, that's the problem. You know who I am, and I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, kind of bad.
I was like, so his people come up to me later on. He's drunk. He said, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's fine, but if you come at me with a diva attitude, I'm gonna come back at you with a diva attitude. And that's like me. Everybody, I've had people post on Facebook, if you don't know who she is, you're nobody in the city. I'm like, y'all, if y'all don't stop saying that. Stop saying that, because a lot of people in this city, they don't know who I am. Some people know my watermark, they know my logo, but they don't know who I am, and that's cool with me. Like you said, I got my awards.
Right.
I got my special contribution award. I got my support award. I got my photographer of the year award. I'm good.
See?
I'm good.
She's good.
I'm good. Like, thank you for my acknowledgments of what I've done. I appreciate it. I've made my mark on the world, well, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You made nothing mark.
I made my mark. All right, this is Most High. That's you? like in the background while you're rapping and all, you know what I mean? So I'm paying attention to the goggles.
Hey, about time somebody asked you that.
I know. I mean, I've been wearing these around. Nobody's seen it, really never really asked me about it.
No, well, I was looking at him and I was like, okay, that's a nice fashion statement right there.
Yeah,
but in the video, yeah, the one with the one, that shit reminded me of Mortal Kombat with Kano.
Oh yeah.
The one that killed the blonde head's partner, whatever. But like he had the red eye and all. But that whole piece right there just reminded me of like a cyborg. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's very, very unique. And I was like, oh, because I kept looking at it like, yo, I like that shit. But what is is that like?
That's kind of like trying to make the goggles like my trademark.
Right.
You know, like
when they see him, you be like, oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah, the guy with the goggles.
They don't remember my name,
but they remember them goggles.
They remember my goggles.
Right, because like I was looking at like every scene you had them on except for that one when you had the hat on. You just had the hat. You had the hat on and all. Because I was looking, I was like, that's you. But yeah, I like that song. Like, see, and that's different than the other two songs that I played. See, it's that variety that you have. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, I'm gonna tell you one thing. As a mother, them kids looked like it was too young to be kissing and carrying on like they was. they did, but they did, like I said, like the whole concept, like the whole thing of the, like they be in the background. It's like you two are there, and it was like it was nothing flashy. You know what I mean? Like that could have been a whole different video.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it was nothing real flashy. And it goes from them, and then it just focuses on you, but they're still right there. I love that scene.
Yeah, I did. He did a good job.
I love that.
Shout out to Poe for that one.
Yeah, that was that video was really like I like stuff that's not different. You know, it's different. It's not the everyday normal thing. Like I said about the videos about being on the corner in front of the corner store, everybody's there, and you're like. The artist that has no idea who all these kids are or who all these people are. They're just extras. You know, they put a... Yo, I'm still sipping on this shit. What the hell?
So strong?
Yes.
You a little more rock star?
Man, it's almost gone now. Shit, the rock star, yeah. You might as well forget that.
Well, you know,
so,
hashtag gone.
Yeah. Every time I say something about me being gone, I always think, I was like, yo, I hope people don't think that I'm like biting off of 3D.
No, I don't know. Not at all. I'm nobody like that. I'm just just trying to blend in amongst the civilians.
Yo, y'all, 3D in here get on my nerves already. He been in here for like 2.3 seconds. You see all these people parked in the damn bus lane?
I know.
Ain't nobody come and told him, but if I had parked there, guess what?
You watching the show tonight?
Who?
Yeah.
Cause I'm going on at the church.
Right here, yo, this watch Lisa show tonight. Yo, she got Mauvlous on tonight. Yo, this gonna pull up right there. The window be open, so yeah, we just gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. That's one of those
People keep walking by. It's funny. It's funny to watch people walk by.
It's like Good Morning America or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of feel like I want to have for you, man.
I like the window open.
And sometimes it's creepy though, because there's this one guy who just walks by and he just stands there. And nothing is as funny as when I had EXO on here with the Guild, and EXO has this gold mask that he wears, and he was sitting in the third seat, and like people were like, look, and he had the gold mask on, so he just stood up and looked at him, and they left. Yeah, because it was kind of creepy. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was kind of.
But
he was a little mad. He was a little masked out that day. That was a plan.
But yeah. So I'm glad Billy sent you my way.
Yes, definitely. Appreciate both of you guys.
I really appreciate it.
You know, can't wait to. What the hell? We got Bob the Builder out in the hallway. I can't wait to. You know, hear that you got some more stuff going. You say you just shot a video. You say you shot a video?
Last night,
Okay.
I shot the video for the song Patience, but I
okay.
really wait to see the video. That's why then you're like, well, I'll see why you didn't want to play that song.
Okay. Sorry for all my viewers that's listening to the drill outside the door. But this is Hard Body Radio, and anything's bound to happen in here. You just never know. So give everybody your your information where they can find you, follow you, listen to your music, Google you, whatever.
I'm on everything, Facebook, IG, Snapchat, and all you gotta do is just type in Mauvlous, Mauvlous, simple as that.
You want to get it?
Put Corey Lee the Great, Facebook. What's all you want right now?
He said Corey Lee the Great.
Corey Lee the Great.
Yes. See, that's another name that's, yeah, see? Corey is his actual name, everybody.
Yeah, no, Corey Lee is actually Lee's actually my middle name.
Yeah, Lee's his middle name. Corey
I thought it was like Murphy Lee, you know. Like, you do got that Murphy Lee kind of vibe.
Oh man, somebody told me that already.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you do have that Murphy Lee kind of.
Like the whole dreads.
Yeah, but like the whole with the monocle, you know, the one little goggle thing with the See, because Murphy Lee did that shit with a mask. Like, and I love Murphy Lee actually. Murphy Lee is awesome. But see, you're not Murphy Lee. You know, you are Corey Lee the Great.
Lee, great.
Right.
Make things come a long way too. I'm actually trying to transition more into R&B.
I can tell because that's why I was like, that's you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I've been working a lot, and I think I'm gonna shock some people when I really start putting myself out there.
That's what's up though. Yo, I don't even know who I got. I think I have Ernest on next week. Ernest. Where's it at? I'm not in December yet. I'm still in November. Yeah, I got E Digger next week.
Okay.
E Digger, Ernest Harris. He Charm City Direct TV. He does E Digger live, Facebook Live, and E Digger at night or something that he does. He just stopped the show that he's been doing and is coming on my show to tell me that he's starting up.
That should be interesting.
It should be. Like I said, I have anybody who wants to do my show on my show.
Right.
I've had Antoine Grant, who does Baltimore Flavor Radio, which is on a whole nother radio station. I've been on his show, him and Jay McGraw. I've been on their show. They interviewed me. He said they need to have me back at least 10 more times to get the whole story. Because there's just so much, so many memories and so much information that I have about everything, about people that I've encountered. But, so I have no problem having E Digger on here. Like, you know, I'm honored that he wanted to be on my show. Yeah. So.
I think I asked you, what is little buttons for?
Yeah, go ahead and hit it and see what happens. Oh, yeah, and the other one does something else. Yeah, it's for when they have game shows or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, and 3D. It all started with that goddamn bell because 3D brought that bell in when he was in therapy. He stole the damn bell from therapy and brought it. He kept dinging the bell, and I was like, I'm going to throw this bell across the room and I'm going to break it. So. But yeah, so I have E Digger next week. Oh, and the following week I have some artists from up in Pennsylvania. I don't have their names in here. I have the guy who contacted me. But I have a couple artists from Pennsylvania who are coming down. Huh?
I said, I hope it's Oliver.
No, it's not Oliver. It's some guys that this guy that booked Jason who booked the show. I met him through Billy, but it's not the guys that he still deals with right now. Like with audio all day audio. It's somebody else that I had met through them, and he hit me up about bringing his artists down here. I was like, hey, you want to drive down here? Cool. So I'm booking. I've still got a book for December. Actually, I'm booked on the 2nd with the wrestlers that are doing the event on the 16th at Gentleman 10. There's a wrestling, and Billy's doing music that day, and he's performing, and Rebel Nation's performing on the 16th at Gentleman 10 with it's wrestling, and then like at the little intermission, they're going to be performing.
Where's that music at?
Huh?
Independent wrestling?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I watch wrestling, so I mean,
it sounds like it's going to be really, really, really fun.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. So some of the people are coming, or some people, Jay Hazy wants me to interview coming on the 6th. The 9th, I'm going to be in New Orleans again, my birthday weekend. I'll be broadcasting live from New Orleans. Baltimore Big Steve, Fatboy Deezy are releasing their EP, I think. It's an album release party, and we're having it down in New Orleans. So we're leaving on Friday, and I guess we're coming back Sunday. But and then I've got 16th, 23rd, and the 30th. I got a book.
Sound pretty busy to me.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse to have my show on Saturday because I can't go to the out of town things.
Yeah.
Because I'm stuck. I'm here. Yeah. But now that I have the program, I can actually, if I can get Wi-Fi, then I can broadcast from wherever I'm at.
Cool.
So I might be on the road a lot more now. So, like I said, I thank you guys for coming in. It's been a pleasure. I hope I haven't bored you to death with.
No.
Like I said, it's a conversation between friends, is what I call it now.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like your average interview.
I'm not sitting here just asking you questions, and I hate that when you go into interviews, they give you 15 minutes and that's it. It's not enough time to find out about an artist.
Right.
That's enough time to hear a song and find out about the song. So, like I said, thank you guys for coming in. I'm sure you'll probably be back 2018 to talk about your new project or whatever.
Yes.
So I will catch you all next week. Thank you all for tuning in on Facebook, Hard Body Radio Live, and on our radio station. So I'm going to end this with one of my favorite songs by Deezy and Steve, and because it's a tribute to Kevin Gates, Time After Time. So I'll catch y'all next week. Yeah. That's not my favorite.